Hey, my name is Aaron, and this is episode 1 of Aaron is Perfect. Yeah, so that's the theme music that I put together. It is basically just me beatboxing, and then I changed the EQ a whole bunch, and then I found random sound effects and put that over top of it. And I think you'll agree, it's pretty good. For just a bunch of sounds put together, and I did it in about 10 minutes, I think that was pretty fucking banging. I killed it. And it is way too fucking long. But I'm going to keep it, and you're just going to have to fucking deal with it. And I'm sorry, sort of. But yeah, that's exciting. Anyway, welcome to Aaron is Perfect. This is a podcast about me, and I'm going to talk about myself too much because there's nobody else here, and I can just do whatever the fuck I want. So sue me. Actually, don't do that. That would be bad because I don't have a lot of money. But if you don't know me, it's likely that you don't, or it's the opposite where you only are watching this because you know me. Hey, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm on all streaming platforms, which is super cool, especially considering that I don't have anything out there yet. So I'm on Spotify and Apple Music. So go ahead and subscribe if that's not where you're looking at this right now, or YouTube, because this is a video as well. It's not just audio. Anchor is the other one. Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. And then I'll probably end up with a bunch of social media accounts. I hope this goes well enough that I do that. But I have an Instagram. I'll put up the thing now or here. I don't know. Either way, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is going to be lightly based around my life, but also I'm going to bring up topics, and I'm going to talk about things that are going on in the world. I might even do reviews of silly videos. Fuck, I don't know. I'm just going to have a lot of fun, and I'm going to sit here and talk to myself, and it's very likely it's going to get super chaotic and insane because I'm not 100% well in the brains, and yeah, so that's exciting. I also have OCD, which adds so much flavor to my life and the life of my family. We all love it together. We're all really, really happy about the fact that I have this debilitating disease that affects literally every single person around me. Some people don't even know that it's affecting them, but it happens. So here we are. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. I'm going to talk about this episode. I think is going to be mostly about my OCD and how it kind of interrupts my life. But from there, I'll probably start branching out. But definitely, I would consider this to be an awareness episode for the disorder, because the disorder is not only is it debilitating to me, it's also fucking hilarious. There are parts of it to me that make me just cackle with laughter because I can't control it. I don't have a choice. I just have to deal with it day to day, and control every aspect of my life all the time. So that's basically what I'm going to do here. That's the idea. I have some notes, so if I'm going to be looking down, it's because I'm reading, and hopefully I can make it somewhat copacetic where I read and talk at the same time, and I don't just sit here for a long period of time without any sound. So. Wait, let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like silence. I like it when when there's talking, when it's just me in the space. Okay, so here's a little bit about me. My name's Aaron. I grew up just north of Toronto. I moved around a lot. I had a bit of a traumatic childhood, and it's been weird. My life has been very weird. I've done lots of couch surfing in my teens. I did a lot of fucking drugs, and here we are. On the other side of it now. I have a good job. I have a family, which is lots of fun, 2 kids, and I'm married. All the good stuff. I basically came from the trenches of shit and rode a stallion all the way into this crazy life that I'm living now, and it's awesome. I'm super lucky. I'm obviously privileged because look at me. I look fine. I look like someone who has lots of privilege in their life. I think OCD came a little bit later on in my life, somewhere in my kind of, not, I wouldn't say early teens. I would say like a little bit earlier than that, probably between like, I don't know, 7 and 12 age time frame. And it came in weird ways. But a lot of the times I would just avoid whatever was going on that I couldn't deal with because it wasn't organized enough. But it came in like I would hyper focus on tasks, or I'd hyper focus on a cleaning thing. And plus, I always have this issue with my hands being wet or being greasy or just not clean, right? So those are very obvious symptoms of OCD that I didn't even catch on to when I was a kid because it wasn't anything. I mean, the cool thing about right now is that, or at least the day and age that we live in, is that mental health isn't as stigmatized. People talk about it. They talk about their mental health. I have 2 different types of therapy, one online and one in person. And I've been doing that for a long, long fucking time. I took a bit of a break, but that's the cool thing about life, right? Is like sometimes things happen in your life and it pulls up all the shit, and then it's like, oh yeah, cool, you were in therapy for like 6 years. Yeah, that's gone now. So maybe you need to go back. And sometimes you make this realization that it's time to go back. And I'm back. And it's great. It's the best fucking thing I ever did. So, yeah. I definitely am a huge proponent of mental health awareness. And definitely, if you are not feeling 100%, go see a therapist. There's lots of really good like online therapies. One's called the Bounce Back Program, which is, I think it's Ontario only. But it's just a fully online thing. They give you an actual therapist. You fill out a giant list of symptoms or whatever, and then they give you a real therapist, and you talk to a real therapist online, and it's really cool. The one that I was doing was called Mind Beacon. It's only like a 2-month program, which is cool, but it's online. I spoke with somebody who was like very specifically chosen because of my particular issues that I was having, and it was great. It was really helpful. But yeah, that's Mind Beacon, and it's not funny. None of this is funny, so I'm gonna move along. But definitely get help. Go get some fucking help, man. It doesn't even matter how bad it is. Go get it. You'll be happy. You'll thank yourself, and you'll thank me. You better fucking thank me. I'm like mild narcissist. So if I give you advice and you use it and it works, and you don't fucking tell me, we're going to have a fucking problem, okay? Even though I won't even know about it. So yeah, I have a giant need to control everything. But let me go through a couple of these symptoms because some of them are really funny. So one of the ones that I get that is constant is I'm a drummer, and I play drums in my mouth all the time. So I always have some sort of drum beat going on with my teeth. I can't really do it with like my mouth open, which is kind of weird, but I'm always sitting here like, and it's like, I'll try and do it. I'll try and give you an example if I can. You ready? Hear that? Yeah. So that's something that I do all the time. It's not a very good drum beat though for a drummer. It's kind of weird that it was that shitty, but it's always different every time. But I do it when I'm sleeping. I do it pretty well constantly. So that's exciting. I pick at my body. Here's the one that I don't like because it's absolutely fucking revolting. So if I get a cut or like a scratch or a scrape or like a fucking zit or something, I can't fucking leave it alone. I pick at it and pick at it and pick at it and pick at it. I have some cuts last like over a fucking year. Isn't that cool? That's not cool, man. It sucks. And it's really fucking gross. And I'm so lucky that I have the ability to select people in my life who aren't just constantly calling me a horrible, disgusting person because of it. Because that's how I feel about it. I'm sure nobody else gives a shit, but that's how I feel about it. I feel super gross, and I shouldn't be doing it. But I do that when I'm sleeping. I do it like, I'll wake up and there'll be fucking like bloody sheets and stuff. Yeah. So moving along, because I don't want to go into too much detail about how disgusting that fucking symptom is. But either way, overcleaning, very, very common OCD symptom. I spend fucking, I don't know, way too long doing the dishes. Basically, when I do the dishes, which is my job, they are new again. Not only do I make the dishes new again, but I also make the kitchen new again. And we just did I don't know, last year we just did a full kitchen renovation, which is awesome, but also it's my fucking nightmare. Because doing a kitchen renovation is great, but I want the kitchen to always look like that for the rest of my fucking life. And because other people have to cohabitate and live their life in this kitchen as well, if somebody leaves like a coffee ring stain on the counter, and the counters are white, so it's super obvious, I just get fucking so mad, and there's no reason for it. I shouldn't get mad. It's just coffee thing, and it doesn't stain it. It's really well made marble, whatever, granite shit. And we have like a million of those fucking Mr. Clean magic erasers that just get rid of all of it. So I just I see it and I get this immediate flutter in my heart and I panic and I have to clean it immediately. So that's another fun symptom. But yeah, I overclean. Worry about my physical health a lot, which is surprising when you see how little I take care of myself. But I do worry about how much meat and cheese and shit I eat. It's on my mind fairly frequently, and I look in the mirror, I'm like, fuck, you got to stop. But then also food, right? Also food is too good, especially when you're hungry. When you're hungry, it doesn't even matter. It's weird because I find food is almost like masturbation. It's like when you're in that zone, you have to eat whatever's in front of you. It doesn't even matter what it is. It's like when you're in that that very specific zone, it's like, okay, I'm going to have to fucking do this right here, right now. There's no other choice. That being said, obviously there are only certain places that you can have a wank. But definitely there aren't certain places where you can eat, right? I mean, you're not going to eat at a fucking church or in the middle of a wedding or something, have a fucking cheeseburger. Although, that would be a pretty fucking dope wedding, wouldn't it? If you could just have a beer and a fucking cheeseburger while they're walking down the aisle, that'd be fucking awesome. Ah, damn it. Okay, I'm going to talk to my wife and maybe we'll get married again. Just for that moment. So yeah, I also overclean my teeth. I use these fucking, I have one here, yeah. I have two different types of these flosser sticks. This one's really good because it's got a really it's not a soft tip. That's what she said. It's really hard. That's what she said. And that one's really good for scraping the shit off my teeth. And then I have another one a different one by a different brand that has a really good actual floss thing. So I use that to get in between my teeth. I have two different types of flossers. I brush my teeth twice a day. Sorry for that horrible noise, but I realize that there's another thing that I hate when I see people talking. When they talk too much and they get that white shit right here. I get that you don't feel that. Of course you don't. But when I see someone with that, I am I'm disturbed by it a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm not freaked the fuck out, but I still I find it is there something wrong with this person other than the fact that they're dehydrated? I'm going to drink some water. You ready? Wow. Okay. So I just learned something. I can't drink water on this podcast again. So I better fucking hydrate before I do this. But anyway, yeah, that weird white shit when people are talking. Like, if there's anything on someone's face when they're talking to you, if there's like food on their face, and they're talking about something serious. First off, that's the funniest fucking thing in the world. It is hilarious to watch somebody like just, yes, and the socioeconomic whatever, like that's what everybody says when they're talking about smart shit. But when they're talking about something smart and they have some sort of food on their face, it is the funniest thing in the world, and I can't take any of it seriously. Everything that they're saying is gone. It doesn't even matter anymore because the food has taken center stage. And that is now the thing that's now the topic of conversation. It's like the fucking, what was it, the fly on Mike Pence's head for the American election in whatever, 2000, whatever, when there was a fucking fly on his head. Like, did you hear anything that he said after that happened? Did you hear anything? Or like, what the fuck, what's that dude, Giuliani? That fucking when his hair dye was like dripping down his face because he was all hot as shit. Like, that completely stopped halted any credibility that he had in the statements that he was making. I don't know why I'm just like talking about Republicans, but there's tons of other moments in history where people talk with shit on their face, and it is so funny to me, mainly because it's gross and I can't look away. But also because, I don't even know why. I don't even know why. Why is that funny? It's not even that funny, but it is to me for some reason because it's just such a fucking it's like this thing just came in and was like, hey, fuck whatever you're talking about. It's time for me now. And then just sits there and goes, hi. I'm a little bit of like weird, spitty, gross stuff. So I hope in this podcast that never actually happens when I'm speaking, because we won't make it past it. That will be the end of the fucking episode because, or you know what? I'll probably go into the editing phase. I'll start editing it and I'll notice it, and then I'll just delete the whole fucking episode, because then I would assume that everyone else is like me and they wouldn't take any of the rest of the episode seriously. Because you should take it seriously. This is we're talking about serious shit here. All right, let me get back to it. So teeth, a tap on everything, which as a drummer, that's a pretty obvious one. And I know that's common for a lot of drummers. But yeah, I don't even notice that I'm fucking doing it. This is an interesting one. This one I didn't realize was even a thing until I talked to a couple people about it. So you know how you get a song stuck in your head, right? That's an obvious one. Everybody gets that. But I get it with phrases or people talking. So it's almost like an echo from the last statement that someone makes, or a memorable statement that's... What the fuck? Anyway, so I get a phrase. Okay, here, let me give you an example. So if I'm talking to someone, I'm like, and the conversation is over, and I'm talking to them, and I say, all right, take it easy, I'll see you later. And then they say the same thing. All right, yeah, you too. It's nice to see you. Take care. So you too, nice to see you. Take care. Sits there in my brain for fucking an hour or 2 hours. And say I have a conversation with somebody else afterwards, and I will also take their last phrases or remarkable phrases. So like, especially if it's like traumatic or something that's like crazy, someone's like, hey, go fuck yourself, you know? I'll have like, all right, take it easy, take care, nice to see you, and hey, go fuck yourself, in their own voices, like sort of like rotating around each other and constantly looping over and over and over again. And then sometimes there's also a song in there. Sometimes I also get music. So I'll get like a song stuck in my head. I'll get like phrases from 6 other people stuck in my head, and they'll constantly like fucking stumbling all over each other. And yeah, apparently that's a real thing. I didn't think about it because I didn't really pay a lot of attention to it, but it's apparently a normal thing for people who have OCD, from what I've heard. So, hey, in the comments or somewhere else, let me know if you have this problem, if you ever experience any of these issues. I'm interested. Actually, you can even email me. I'll put it here, but I created an email specifically for this, so that if anybody wants to email me to talk about, to ask me to talk about certain things, or if they have any questions about OCD, or I'm not a therapist, so let's not like start getting all fucking crazy here. But I have had OCD for a long time. I've been in therapy for a long time. So I might have some advice that might help you. I have no fucking idea. But yeah, I'll put the email right here. But it's aaronsperfect@gmail.com if you're not watching and you're only listening. Aaronsperfect, AARONSPERFECT @gmail.com. And make sure to email me if you have any questions. Or if you just want to like come up with topics, or if you just want to fucking say, hey, listen, you need to stop this shit. Okay? I heard episode 1. You have a fucking problem. You probably have a micropenis. You need to stop speaking and go on with your life in other ways. You don't need to address everyone. Okay? Just shut the fuck up is basically what I'm getting at here. Okay, so let's keep going. Trying not to get the weird white shit at the corners of my mouth. So I micromanage other people as well when it comes to cleaning. I will, walk into the kitchen while my wife is cooking something and be like, "Are you gonna put that much of that in there?" Or like, I don't think that those two flavors are a match flavor profile. Like I don't know. I think you might be wrong here, or like. The dishes are a big one for me because they need to be fucking clean, right? So if someone else cleans the dishes and like there's a little bit of grease or something, if they get the greasy Tupperware is obviously a thing. If there's a piece of Tupperware that has grease on it, nope, it's getting re-cleaned. Which leads me to the next symptom. I don't know if this is a symptom or this is just like a reaction to a symptom. But laundry. Laundry is my fucking nemesis because, first off, laundry is made of fabric. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if anybody who's watching this knows this little tidbit of information. Laundry is made of fabric in all different shapes and sizes. And when you're dealing with women's clothing, there is no consistency when it comes to those shapes or the fabric. And then you boil it down to little children women's clothing, and I'm out. That's it. I can't fucking do that. Like, I can't make a square with that. I need a square or a triangle. I need a decipherable early age geometric shape. That's how I need my clothes to be folded. So that being said, I have a very hard time with clothing being folded because it's not perfect. I am the only person who can fold my clothing. We tried it with other people folding my clothes, and it's not correct. They don't fold it correctly. It's wrong. They do the wrong way, and it's wrong. It doesn't matter who the fuck it is. All of it has to look exactly the same. So if I have shirts, this is a shirt. If it's not a perfect square and stacks on top of all the other perfect square shirts, it either gets hung up in my closet or thrown away into the garbage because it's an evil shirt from hell. And that's just the way it is. Same with pants. There is one way to fold a pair of pants. There really is. Maybe I'll bring a pair of pants one day and fold them here for you so that you can learn how to fold pants properly. Because I haven't met one other fucking person who can fold pants like a human being. There is a seam. There is a natural fold seam to a pair of pants. Women's or men's, doesn't matter what it is. Pants were made with two pieces to be identical. And they were made with a seam down the middle. Okay? Don't take my word for it. Go into your house, into your bedroom, pull a pair of pants out of wherever you keep pants and give them a good look over. Examine them top to bottom, side to side, and you will understand that pants are, for the most part, equal on both sides. And you can make both of those sides do the same fucking thing. So fold pants like a real person. Don't crumple them into a pant ball. And just be better, you know? Because no matter who I speak to and no matter who I watch fold fucking pants, they just don't do it properly. So get your shit together. Let's see what else we got on this list of horrible things that I do. I have a meal ritual. So let me give you an example. It's late. Okay? It's late at night. Me and my wife are getting hangry for no reason. We've already eaten dinner, but you know what? Second dinner. We decide, okay, let's go out and get something, some fast food, shitty fast food thing. We go out, bring it back to the house, and she goes somewhere else, upstairs or something, to go to the bathroom or wash her hands or do something else. I get all the food ready. We have to have the food in front of us, everything ready. Nobody's taken a bite yet. Do not bite anything. If we plan to watch something, that's a burp, then it has to be ready on the TV. I can't start eating anything or drinking anything until I press play on that thing. So, movie has to be started, then I can dig into my delicious meal. But that's it. Like that's the epitome of my eating habits. I can't, like, if I'm cooking something, and I like to cook. I cook a lot. And if I'm cooking something, especially something that's like really involved and has like a million different flavors in it, I cannot eat or taste test any part of that meal until I am sitting down, the meal is fully prepared, drink here. If we're watching something, has to be playing, then I can start eating. But yeah, there is absolutely no taste testing. There's absolutely no like figuring out if these flavors taste good together. It's a lot of guesswork and understanding flavor, because let's be honest, like, look at me. I'm the flavor of the fucking month, and I just know, which is wrong, actually. Sometimes I cook stuff that tastes like shit because I assume that good flavors, there are flavors that work together, and then they absolutely do not taste good. And that's the end of that topic. Clean, dry hands all the time. This is a standard thing, and I'm pretty sure I already talked about it. But my hands cannot be wet. Well, they can be wet, but they need to be dried into stones. And I do not use hand cream. Hand cream cannot happen. My hands look like I'm 90 years old. I don't know if you can see, but I have 90-year-old hands. Because they are dry. A lot of the times they crack, especially in the winter. I'll get fucking like beet red knuckles and shit. Cool, huh? Yeah, gross. I'm a gross guy. And then, of course, all the anxiety stuff. Like, I hold my breath a lot. I'm constantly overrun with anxiety when things are out of place. Obvious symptoms like that. What else? And organizing my workplace. So, I don't know if you can see, this is my office, but I have a pretty organized workspace. And and it's nice. It's nice. Let's not fuck around here, okay? It's nice to have OCD for these reasons, because a lot of the things in my life are clean and nice and organized and just kind of look good. But also I'm like full of fucking chaos. My whole, like, my brain is everywhere all the fucking time. So I also have, like, you know, random shit in my fucking spaces. Like, I have a skeleton over here. It's got a shark head. This closet is full of costumes. Like, there's like 8 costumes, including 2 Superman costumes that are fucking identical. Like, I like things to be crazy and bizarre, but also they need to be organized and tidy. So it's hard. It's hard because I have basically 2 different versions of personality, and they are always fighting with each other. And that's what makes me sexy, and that's why my wife loves me. So, and that's why my whole family is like always like, wow, you really have your shit together, dude. That's so cool. I love it when my kids call me dude. So how does this affect my family? I'm writing shit. I wrote shit down, but I'm talking about it without even looking at it. So you can tell this is going to be a successful podcast. You can tell because I already know, and I haven't even rehearsed this yet. I haven't looked at this since the first time I recorded this episode and deleted it. So here we go. Yes, it obviously affects my life and my family. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes not in a good way. Like when it comes to doing the chores, I clean the fuck out of shit. I'm a fucking fuck shit cleaning guy. I get that shit right the fuck out of there, and it's great. It takes me a little too long. Like, cleaning the bathroom, which is another one of my chores, takes me about an hour, maybe a little more. But I scrub the shower walls every single time. I do it every Sunday. Every single Sunday after church, just kidding, I clean the bathroom so well that you'd think it's new. And we just did a bathroom renovation. So now I clean that one far too much. It's the same as the kitchen, and it's great. Everyone loves it. And it's a beautiful bathroom. Like we did some cool shit in there as far as bathrooms go. But it's a small bathroom. Still takes me an hour, sometimes a little more than an hour. Depends on if I have to poop or not. How does this affect my life in regards to current events? So I wrote down a couple current event things that are obvious, like Ukraine. So I'm in my office. My office is next to a busy road. So it's a very good possibility that during the podcast shooting time that you will hear traffic. I'm not rich, okay? And I'm also not anyone who is anyone. So I can't afford a sweet fucking podcast studio. But I've built I've got enough gear to make it work. And I talk. I like to talk. I talk too much. So this is what you get. You're going to get real life, okay? You're going to get traffic, and I'm going to break the fourth wall. Maybe I'll make a fifth one and burn that fucker to the ground. Who knows? Anything is possible at the Aaron is Perfect podcast, because that obviously is a joke, because I'm anything but. However, OCD. So here we go. So yeah, the thing in Ukraine obviously affected me. It affected everybody worldwide. Why am I going to this dark place right now? But I did crazy shit when that first hit. When word got out that things were escalating out there, I was like, okay, well, this could come here. And I turned that this could come here moment into a this is coming here eventually moment, and I need to make sure that I know exactly what's going on all of the time. So on all of these screens, while I was working, I also had 3 different versions of CCTV streams. So it'd be on each one, there'd be 10 different angles of different areas all over Ukraine. And so I was viscerally paying attention to actually what was going on there, because I could see everything. I saw tanks, I saw fucking invasions and all sorts of fucking horrible shit. And this is just coming from some fucking HD camera hanging in the middle of a fucking Times Square, or a random space. Someone's fucking Ring camera from their front door. I was watching this type of shit. And then I also had a bunch of live feeds. There was one website where it was live feeds from Twitters and Telegrams and just all sorts of other Reddit and other sort of underground things, but coming directly out of Ukraine. And it was just updating, so I'd hit refresh on that often and find out where else was bombed and who else has been invaded and shit. So I was so invested, and I paid so much attention to it that it was very likely an issue, and I was experiencing tons of anxiety. Talked to my therapist about it. He's like, "Don't fucking do that, man. Bad. He didn't hit me. Sometimes I wish he would, but he didn't hit me. But he did say, like, you should probably stop doing that. That is extremely habitual / terrible behavior, and you should stop doing that. So I have stopped. I slowed down at first and only had like one screen and still that fucking live feed. But now I don't do any of them. I stopped completely because it didn't matter how often I was doing it or how many things I was looking at. Anytime that I even paid any close attention to it, it was like, I was too into it. Paid too much attention, and I was like, okay, so how the fuck do you build a bomb shelter in your basement? Or like, what do I have to do to make sure that I don't get blasted? I'm not in the fucking blast radius if somebody hits like Toronto or something. Fuck. Yeah, no, not a good way to think. And you know what? If it happens, it's just gonna happen, and there's nothing I can fucking do about it. So fuck it. Cancel culture is a good one too. So because I have OCD, I tend to try and compartmentalize all of my thoughts and all of my beliefs into certain places, but I'm also very much a proponent of trying to make sure that I have the ability to change my mind at any passing moment. So if something influences me, instead of just being like, fuck you, I already know, I'm like, let's check that idea out. And so I because I find that human nature is a confirmation bias. Like our brains want very badly to boil everything down to like the most specific shit so that like there is no straying from my thought or my belief system. I think that it's very difficult for people to break out of that. So I'm like, even though I am OCD and I am the type of person like physically or genetically or chemically the type of person who would sit in those places, I also have a consciousness, and I can think and understand that that's not a good way to be. That it's really important that you keep yourself as open-minded as possible, because you don't actually fucking know. Like, as much as you can sit and say, like, I know this because I read these articles, you don't actually know. You don't know where that article came from. Even if it maybe looked like it came from CNN, you know, and it was like, this is real, even though CNN is CNN, but even though you're looking at these things, you still have no fucking clue if there is actual credibility. And, you know, and there are so many different places and so many different sources that are purposely leading you in the wrong direction. That, you know, even if you see through that, and you go, well, you know what? This source actually says the opposite. You don't even know if that fucking source is real. So yeah, it's crazy to think that with all of the shit that's going on in the world and how we are like being inundated with information and misinformation, the fact that people still rely on their confirmation bias or still believe one thing wholeheartedly, and it's like, this is what the fuck is happening. Super fucking ignorant, and we need to stop doing that, and we never will. Because that's just the human nature, and we'll just do that until we blow ourselves up, probably. Hopefully after everyone in my family is extinct. So this started with cancel culture. Cancel culture is crazy because you don't know these people who are being canceled for the most part. Most people don't actually know, like, personally, the people who are being canceled. And it's usually their own fucking thing. There's obviously, you know, some people do stupid, crazy shit and should not ever see the light of day. Bill Cosby, obviously. You know, people like that. Kevin Spacey, obviously. There are things that I would even go as far to say that that's not necessarily cancel culture. That's someone committing a crime and being punished for it. And of course they can't work. You know, like, if someone goes to fucking jail for 20 years for attempted murder or something like that, a real crime like Kevin Spacey or like fucking Bill Cosby, you don't work afterwards. You are done. You can't, like, maybe you do, but you work at a fucking laundromat or some shit. You don't go fucking back to work. Oh, well, that was a weird little stint. Shouldn't have done that. Oops. Like, no, you're fucked. You're fucked. Like, you have a problem. Even some of the most intense convicts in the world, would have the hardest time having a job. So, or even like some dude who got fucking busted for weed in a place where it's illegal, has a hard time finding a job afterwards. So yeah, you fucking like date rape some fucking woman, even though you're a super famous person. You should have every book thrown at you, obviously. However, when it's a hearsay situation, when there's, multiple views and tons of people saying one thing and tons of people saying the other, that's when you're like, we're done. First of all, I don't know these people at all personally. I have nothing to do with it. So we're done. Like, think about the fucking, everybody's fucking talking about this, or still for some reason. So I might as well chime in as well. But the Will Smith thing, right? With fucking, what's his face? Chris Rock. Like, yeah, that was fucking weird and crazy. I don't know either of these two rich gentlemen. There's no reason for me to weigh in. People were like making a racial topic. Why? You don't know these people. They're two like super ultra rich famous people. Why are you even talking about it? Don't cancel somebody you don't even fucking know after. Yeah, of course, the guy hit somebody else. You shouldn't fucking do that. The words are words. You just talk. The guy's a comedian. He was literally put there to spark controversy. Think about fucking like Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes called everybody fucking pedophiles in the fucking thing. So yeah, like, people say shit all the time. Nobody walked up and slapped fucking Ricky Gervais. I mean, I love that guy for doing that, but that's nothing. This is nothing. None of those things are anything. It's nothing. They're just saying words and regurgitating what, like, some popular opinion is, just for comedy. And comedy is comedy. So you got to leave it the fuck alone for the most part. Yeah, you're going to be offended. That's their job, because the envelope has been pushed so far. Like, we're already so far past the fucking breaking point of most people. You might as well just go back and, say all the fucking horrible phrases that, are not cool to say. I mean, I don't think we should advocate for that, but you know what I mean? Like, we've gotten now to a point where you can't push the envelope anymore. You're gonna offend people. That's just the way that it is. That's what comedy is, and people just need to chill the fuck out. Chill out. It's a joke, first of all, and yeah, maybe it's at the expense of someone else, but who gives a fuck? Who fucking cares? Like, this whole, and I think that situation, I'm weighing in way more than I should, but that situation specifically with Will Smith, it's definitely like an alpha male thing going on there. And I think that's like also a big problem. Alpha male versus beta male. Like, it's a joke, obviously. Like, it's the biggest joke in current popular culture, because alpha males would be like, oh, that's what a beta would say that. You know what I say? Fuck you and fuck all that shit. And you know why, right? Because the human experience is gray area daily. I have days where I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm fucking like, Urgh. And then I have other days where I'm like, you know what, I just want to sit down and watch a really nice movie with my wife, maybe give her a kiss on the forehead, and just, I hope this movie makes me cry. Or like, you know what, I'm going to go watch 15 episodes of Extreme Home Makeover with Ty Pennington, and I'm just going to sit and fucking cry about everything else, because these people are so lucky to have had this. This young woman has 0 legs and now has a house where she can climb, she can work out her upper body, and everything is one floor. I never thought I'd say 0 legs in my whole life, but here we are. Anyway, yeah, I went a little off topic there, but yeah, alpha beta thing is the funniest. Well, it's just, okay, Here is my theory that leads to every single stupid fucking, I don't know, confirmation bias is the wrong word for this, but like when people sit so heavily on an opinion, I think this is my theory for why that is, why people do that. And this is going to I'm not a scientist. I'm not a fucking physicist. I'm not even anyone. But this is an opinion I've formulated over a couple of years because I like to take opinions. I like to take topics and talk about them or think about them far too much. Okay, so bear with me. Bear with me. I would like you to email me afterwards. I'll put the thing here again. And let me know what you think of this theory. Okay, so human beings, right, are physical, scientific, molecular beings, and they start with a process called mitosis, right? Like it's a cell that's created by a sperm and an egg or whatever, and then that cell splits into two cells. Now think about this: the cell doesn't split into 5 cells; it splits into 2. And then those 2 cells split into another 2. And then those 2 cells split into another 2 until you create this being made of matter. I think that is the fundamental, like, makeup of our everything. Our personalities, the way that we think, our physical makeup. Like, if you think about, like, I have a left and a right eye, I have a left and a right hand, I have, like, 2 lungs, I have 2 fucking balls, I've got 6 penises, I've got 2 legs. You know what I mean? You're kind of like cut right down the middle. Both sides of you are almost identical, other than like a heart and a spleen or whatever. And like, because of that, and because of the way that our brain is mixed, not to mention the left and right brain, like those are very obvious things. Those things that are talked about all the time. You have this like constant separation and the insatiable need to sit on one side of the fence or the other. You're either black or you're white. You're either good or bad. You're either Republican or fucking Democrat. You're either like, but you are those things. And we are like, no matter what, even though like the human experience is the most fucking like scattered maniacal insanity that exists, we still just try and like squish it all down into one fucking thing and just rely on that because we want to make things simple. Nothing is fucking simple. Why would you do that? All you can do is organize the things that you can organize. In my opinion, you can only take on what you can take on. You can only boil things down to a certain degree until it's like, well, fuck, maybe I just don't know. And that is the moral of this fucking story here, is that you sit on the fence for a very specific topic, and in some cases, especially when it comes to COVID and understanding and believing a very specific narrative of COVID, whether it's you believe it wholeheartedly and you wear a mask and you do all that shit, or you think it's a giant government overreach and it's been created by the government or some shit, like you are sitting in those. You are sitting there in that, and you cannot get out of it. And you know what? COVID's the perfect topic for this because people tend to sit in a specific place with those. They have to sit in those places. But the people who deny it. Hold on. I have something else. No, I was going to burp, and then I didn't have to. Wait, hold. Why? It's sitting here. I'm going to swallow it down. Anyway, where the fuck was I? Yeah, so the people who deny it, you're denying the reason for millions of deaths. Or at least you're talking about it in such a way that you're basically saying that these people are being murdered versus actually dying of a horrible disease. And that is a big thing to stand on. Whether you're right or wrong, I'll never know. There's no way for me to know. But that is a big thing. That is a fucking giant hill to die on. And if you are sitting there in that place, that is significantly more difficult to pop out of and go, you know what? Maybe I was wrong about how all these people died. You know, maybe I'm a little incorrect. And if you're incorrect about that, you're kind of a dick. I mean, you were a dick anyway, let's be honest, because it's really, you have to be a bit of a dick to sit in that place because it's obviously opposing a narrative that majority of the population believes. So you got to be a bit of a dick to feel that way. But yeah, it's that's a difficult place to come out of, a difficult place to come back from. Here's the big part that I've been like wanting to say this entire time. No white shit? No, I'm good. I look so fucking good, man. God damn it, dude. Jesus. Okay, if only I was a good person too. But no, because you cannot believe one thing wholeheartedly. That is the message that I am trying to portray here. And yes, I know it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. But here's why. Because you, no matter who the fuck you are, you do not have enough information to actually know what's going on. You will never be granted enough information to fully understand what is going on. When it comes to COVID specifically, when it comes to your politics, when it comes to big pharma, when it comes to all of these massive popular topics, political or other, you will never actually fully know what is truly going on. You won't. And you will never be able to find out, because it would take you all of your life and then 10 other people's lives in entirety consecutively to read every piece of information that has come out about whatever topic it is that you are talking about. And the worst part about that is that even if you read all of that, you just have all of that then. Then you just have all of it. Then you just have read all of that stuff. Yeah, you can make up your mind, but you're making up your mind based off of the input from hundreds of thousands of people who are currently at this moment writing pieces that will help to try and manipulate you one way or the other. So, like, go on with your life and just be a person. Enjoy the time that you have here to the best of your ability. And I know that's hard if you're living in a place like Yemen. I know that's easy for me to say, but I can't do anything about that. I can advocate. I can talk about it. But physically, I can't do anything. This system is not set up for me to be able to save the people of Yemen as this, person in Ontario, Canada, who is randomly speaking into a microphone in his office. There is nothing that I can do personally. And the worst thing that I can do is to sit on a topic so heavily that I deny any sort of opposing argument. That is the most toxic fucking thing that you can do. That is how we get riots. Because people just can't fucking agree. So that's a really light, fun start to this podcast. I think I'm going to call it here. But let me just leave you with this. I would say it was going to be like a little tidbit of information or at least some wise thing. But no, I would like you to follow me on all of the different streaming services. Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts, I think. Anchor is a really good podcasting app. That's where all my shit's hosted. Follow me on Instagram. And I'll probably make like a bunch of other shit too. I want to see how this goes first. And we'll go from there. But thanks for watching. And I hope you keep tuning in. I'm assuming that this is just going to get crazier and crazier and crazier. Because I'm a crazy guy. I'm all sorts of fucked up. And I've had some pretty cool, fun experiences in my life. And I'm funny. It's true. Right? Fuck. All right. Well, thanks very much for watching. And yeah, fucking take it easy, guys. All right?